What's going, Aboriginal Sports Network fans? Hey, this your boy Big Pat Sports Talk, and we're gonna be talking some college football here on the network. Hey, this is college football, the college football podcast on the Aboriginal Sports Network. So let's get into it. We talking about Bill Belichick in North Carolina. Super dud so far, but let's get into it. This is the college football podcast on ABSN. Let's get it.
Right now, all we talk about being in more. So when you in, all for more, man. We gon' ride. I'm not scared. We have things out the door. I promise.
Welcome to college football on ABSN. All right. Hey, what's going on, fans? Man, y'all hit that like button and subscribe button for the Aboriginal Sports Network. And man, North Carolina, Bill Belichick took an absolute whooping when it comes to playing TCU on their opening night here Monday night. We called the game right here on the Aboriginal Sports Network, and man, they took a beating. They couldn't stop the run, they couldn't run the ball, they couldn't score points, and they lost 48-14. And Bill Belichick's debut was an absolute dud. And this is going to be a whole lot of concern for the North Carolina Tar Heels, man. They look like they're not going to win too many games this year. And with the whole hype around Bill Belichick, man, this is a huge disappointment. Bill Belichick coming from the NFL, one of the winningest head coaches and one of the best head coaches ever in the NFL with the Patriots getting 6 Super Bowls. And he comes to North Carolina with his son, Steve Belichick, and they were, hyped up like how primetime Deion Sanders was in Colorado. And they were supposed to be, a really good team, but man, they a fumble return, a pick six, another fumble, and that game there, man, they had fans walking out in the stands. And this is absolutely the worst case scenario to start off Bill Belichick's career in North Carolina. And his dad, Steve Belichick, coached at North Carolina. He was the running backs coach before he was. And it's just turned out to be an absolute dud. But let's hear from the man himself about what went on in this game here, man. They got absolutely destroyed. And this looks bad for North Carolina, man. But let's take a look.
Tackle better. I mean, there's no secret to it. There's no pill you can take. I mean, you just got to, have to tackle better fundamentally and get more guys around the ball so we're not, so many tackles in space.
Back left. Yeah, Jeremiah Holloway with Inside Carolina. You alluded to it a little bit, but after that first drive, it was kind of a struggle offensively to get points on the board. What in particular, your vantage point from the sideline, what's TCU doing to kind of get you guys out of the offense?
Yeah, look, they just outplayed us. They outcoached us. I mean, they were just better than we were tonight. That's all there was to it. They controlled both sides of the line of scrimmage. Their skilled players played well, and they did a lot more things right than we did. So, give them credit for being the better team. They certainly deserve it.
Yes, they were the better team, man. They got absolutely punished tonight against TCU, man. They were absolutely terrible. They could not stop the run. They had a very good first drive. They went down the field with the first quarterback they had in there, number 7. And they went down the field with ease. They scored the touchdown. And then I don't know what it is about Freddie Kitchens, man. I can't stand him as an offensive coordinator. I can't stand him as a play caller, man. because he went totally away from what was successful on the very first drive. He went totally away from it, and TCU took advantage. And then when they lost the momentum, man, it just got worse and worse and worse and worse. And to believe it or not, I believe there's a quarterback change in need in North Carolina, because the guy that came in behind the first guy, he actually seemed to have a more of a hold of the offense than what the first guy had. I mean, the first guy, he was erratic when he was throwing the ball. He threw a pick six. Then he got sacked and fumbled, and they got a fumble return to scoop and score. And they couldn't run the ball anymore after the first drive. They couldn't get any passing game going with that quarterback after that. And it was just an absolute crap show, man. Them dudes, TCU ran off 41 points in a row against North Carolina. And the Bill Belichick defense giving up 48 points. When have you ever seen that? And this goes to question with Bill Belichick. Maybe this is the reason why he wasn't successful in getting a job in the NFL after the Patriots released him. You know, is Bill Belichick still a head coach that's worthy of praise? You know, I mean, it's getting to that point. I know it's the very first week, but a loss like this to TCU, you guys made TCU look like they were a juggernaut again, man. And this is not acceptable. North Carolina fans, this is not acceptable for you guys. You guys had Michael Jordan in the house, Mia Hamm in the house. You know, a whole bunch of people in the house coming to see what Bill Belichick can do, and he laid a dud, an absolute dud. But let's hear a little bit more about what Bill Belichick has to say about this game.
Back right. Brian, or people from the area, could you assess how Gio Lopez played, his injury status, and if you saw enough from Max that job is open or maybe?
Yeah, we'll see how Gio is. You know, they took him off, took a look at him. You know, hopefully it's not too bad, but we'll see. You know, give Max a lot of credit. You know, he came in there after, you know, being off for a long time and, you know, hung in there, made some plays, you know, in a tough situation. So, you know, give him a lot of credit for what he did tonight. But we'll take a look at it after we see where things are at here and go from there.
Yeah, you need to take a real hard look at your quarterback situation, bro, because I believe the guy that came in after your starter that you had tonight is actually the better quarterback. He's the more experienced quarterback. You guys need experience out there on the field, especially this being your very first, you know, season with North Carolina. And the way it's looking, it might be your first and your last season in North Carolina, man. You know, a lot of people are saying a lot of things about the little young chick that you with. Are you really focused on football? They were questioning if you really had the heart to coach anymore. Do you even want to coach anymore? Are you there just for the check? And it's looking like that, man. You know, North Carolina took a absolute butt whooping from TCU, and that is unacceptable, man. North Carolina had high aspirations for you coming there, man. Your pedigree, your championship pedigree. They were thinking that you was going to be like a Nick Saban type ordeal, man. So we'll see with North Carolina, man. But North Carolina, man, they got their butts absolutely handed to them by TCU. And we're going to be covering North Carolina a little bit more going into the season and see exactly what's going on with Bill Belichick, man. Is he still a good head coach? You know, you're going to have to start. It's going to come to the point where people are going to have to start saying, hey, is Bill Belichick, you know, worth all the hoopla that was given to him coming into North Carolina, man? But hey, this was a complete beatdown. And we're going to look over the stats and then we're going to get out of here. But we'll be right back with the stats and everything about this North Carolina game, man. Let's get into it. So we're looking at the stats right here. Man, look, bro. Gio Lopez, the very first quarterback that I was speaking of, number 7, had a horrible night. 4 of 10, 69 yards with an interception and a fumble. And cost the team 14 points. He had a fumble return put on him and an interception return put on him, a pick 6. But Max Johnson, the more established veteran, man, he came in 9 of 11, 103 yards and 1 touchdown and looked very good when he was out there on the field. The running game, 28 carries for 50 yards, that is not going to get it done, Bill Belichick. That is not going to get it done. They did have one receiver that had 4 catches for 84 yards, But other than that, man, they really didn't get anything done, man. They didn't get anything done. And look, man, they had TCU looking like an all-star team. Josh Hoover, one of the best quarterbacks TCU has seen, 27 to 36, 284 yards and 2 touchdowns. He did throw 1 pick. But, man, Kavion Barnes, number 2, 11 carries for 113 yards and 1 touchdown. The TCU ran for 35 times for 258 yards for 2 touchdowns, 7.4 yard average. That is not a Bill Belichick-led team on defense. I don't understand what was going on. Jordan Dwyer, number 7, killed them all game long. 9 catches for 136 yards and a touchdown. Man, it got ridiculous out there, man. And just go by the team stats here, man. North Carolina had 10 first downs the whole game. On third down, 1 out of 10. 222 yards. TCU had 542 yards of total offense against a Bill Belichick-led defense. That is absolutely insane. 3 turnovers. This is not Bill Belichick coaching, man. It's just not, man. It's not Bill Belichick coaching. You lose 48-14, man. You looking, the team looks like they're just out of sorts. They're not disciplined. They're getting penalties. Number 29, whoever that DB was for them, was absolutely atrocious. And they should be ashamed of themselves playing the way they did tonight, man. They got beat down. I mean, just turnovers, giving up points on defense and offense. The defense for TCU scored 14 points, and North Carolina only scored 14 points for the whole game. Believe me, we were calling the game. They were like North Carolina, they were lined up off the receivers, 10, 15 yards off the receivers, and they were just giving them quick passes and quick screens. They couldn't tackle, they couldn't block, they couldn't rush the passer, they couldn't do anything correct. And you know another thing, they couldn't live up to the hype. They couldn't bring in they couldn't even allow their fans to stay the whole game. So Bill Belichick, you got a lot to think over about this team, man, for real, because it's bad, man. But this has been College Football Podcast on ABSN, man. Go check out KMP Productions, the official sponsor of the Aboriginal Sports Network, man. Y'all hit that like button. Y'all hit that subscribe button and look for a whole lot more college football content on the Aboriginal Sports Network, man. Your home for your college football needs. You're going to see us at the Senior Bowl. You're going to see us at the draft. You're going to see us at the Combine. You're going to see a lot of things from us this season with college football, man. We taking this all the way. But I'm Big Pat Sports Talk. Check me out right here on the Aboriginal Sports Network. And this has been College Football on ABSN. And until the next episode, y'all know what it is, man. Peace.
Right now, all we talk about being in more. So when you in, all for more. We don't mind. I'm not here. We have to go. I
Welcome to College Football on ABSN.